Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another book review. Today's book is called Me by Sir Elton John. Okay, this is an incredible biography I highly recommend you check out, especially if you're in the music business. You love music, you want to, of course, find out more about somebody's life. Biographies are a great way to really, get into somebody's life on a deeper level. I know a lot of us, I know this is random, but Harry Potter is a great example. A lot of people love the movies, but the books are a lot more deeper than the movies. Okay, so Me by Elton John. Again, I don't have the cover for this book. I left it back in my apartment in Los Angeles as I'm in Pennsylvania right now. But as you can see, this book, Elton John was always about color. He loved color with his insane outfits. Rocket Man is a really great movie. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend doing so. But I will read. Actually, you know what? This book doesn't have a table of contents. It just has each chapter, as this is a biography. So I'm going to pick a page of this book, and I will read it for you guys. Okay. Page 85. Not long after we moved into the Water Gardens, I was back in America for another tour. It's a huge country, and most of it couldn't care less if the LA Times has called you the future of rock and roll. You have to get out there and show people that you can do. Besides, we had a new album to promote. Tumbleweed Connection was already finished, recorded in March of 1970 and released in the UK in October. That's just how it was then. You didn't take 3 years to make an album. You recorded quick, you got it out fast, you kept the momentum going, kept things fresh. It suited the way I worked. I hate wasting time in the studio. I suppose it's a legacy from my days as a session musician or recording demos in the middle of the night at DJM. You were always working against the clock. So we crisscrossed the stage, usually playing at the support act for Leon Russell, the Byrds, Poco, the Kinks, and Eric Clapton's new band Derek and the Dominoes. That was the idea of my booking agent, Howard Rose, and a really clever move. Don't play top of the bill, play second. Make people want to come back and see you again in your own right. Every artist we supported was incredibly kind and generous to us, but it was hard work. Each night we'd go on stage with the intention of stealing the show. We'd go down great and come off thinking we'd blown the headliners off stage, and every night the headliners would come out and play better than us. People talk about Derek and the Dominoes being a real disaster area, strung out on heroin and booze, but you would never have known if you would have seen them live that autumn. They were phenomenal. From the side of the stage, I took mental notes about their performance. Eric Clapton was a star, but it was their keyboard player, Bobby Whitlock, that I watched like a hawk. He was from Memphis, learned his craft hanging around Stack Studios, and played with that soulful, deep Southern gospel feel. Touring with them or Leon was like being on the road with Patti LaBelle or Major Lance when I was in bluesology. You watched and you learned from people who had more experience than you. If we still had a long way to go, it was clear on that tour that the word was spreading. In LA, we had dinner with Danny Hutton from Three Dog Night, and he casually mentioned that Brian Wilson wanted to meet us. Really? I had idolized the Beach Boys in the 60s, but their career had tailed off, and Brian Wilson had turned into this mysterious mythic figure. According to some lurid gossip, he had supposed to have become a recluse or gone insane or both. Oh no, Danny assured us he's a huge fan. He'd love you to visit. So yeah, this book, I love this book because Elton John is so real. He's so real. And as you can see, he provides photos in this book of his family and of just himself growing up. You can see there he is young. But yeah, again, I definitely recommend if you're into the music industry and you're in the music business, this is definitely a book that I definitely recommend getting. And yeah, so check it out. Me by Elton John.